now it's time for the fun part, the actual editing or the cutting of the story. I've got all my main piece to camera footage sitting in the timeline, and if I hit the play button just here or the space bar on the keyboard, here it is.
According to the World Health Organization.
All right, I'm listening for the word action, and that's where I want to start this particular edit. That's why a director says action. It's not just for the talent to start acting, it's also for the editor to know where to start their edit or to set up an in point. What I'm going to do here is just find where I say action, and I'm going to drag that little beginning of that edit over to where the playhead is, and then let go, and it all just magically goes into place.
According to the World...
Perfect. So now, as soon as she starts to talk, I've got that edit happening right at the right time.
According to the World Health Organization.
Now at this point I want to bring in a title, probably in the lower right hand corner, something along the lines of washing hands or something like that. So let's remember the titles are up the top right hand corner. When I click on the title tool, I get access to all of my amazing motion graphic templates. And let's find a really cool one. This first one here is quite a nice one. I'm going to click and drag that. I'm going to drag it onto my timeline at exactly the point where I want the title to appear. And if I hit the spacebar now,
Most Healthcare Associated.
I can see the title doing its thing. Now that's pretty cool, but I don't want it to appear there. So I'm just going to click and drag it down here. And you notice it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to just go to one of these little handles in the top left-hand corner and just get it scaled to the size that I want it to appear.
Most Healthcare Associated.
Good. I don't want it to say my vlog channel. I'm going to just click over, just make sure I activate the title on the timeline, and then click over it and say, wash your hands, something like that. And the tagline, I can just get rid of that, I suppose. I don't really need that. Now, I'm not particularly happy with the colors. Remember, I can go and edit. So if I go to my edit tool, you can see I can change the colors. I'll just highlight what I want to change. I might change it to a slightly different color. I might grab my little sample tool and choose a color that's already in the background. I quite like this reddish color that's there. So I'm going to choose that, click OK. So now we've got it, but now I need to change the background. So if I go and change the shape of the tool, I can then change that to a much lighter color. Let's just bring it over there and see if that looks all right. Let's just see what that looks like now.
Most healthcare associated infections are preventable.
Okay, I'm pretty happy with that as my start. Let's see what else she says.
Hand hygiene. So, you should wash your hands.
Now she says you should wash your hands. I'm thinking now I'll bring in a still image. So I'm going to go up to my top left hand corner where I add my media. Click on media. All my footage is sitting there, but not my still images. So if I go out of my footage, I can see my wash hands assets, and there's my stills. And I'm looking for my washing hands. There it is, wet hands, wash hands. I might grab the wet hands picture and just drag it, literally drag it over to where the playhead is, and that will now take over the whole stage.
You should wash your hands regularly and always after going to the toilet and before you eat.
Now that's pretty good, but I'm not wanting to take over the whole screen. I'm thinking that still image should probably appear in the top right hand corner of my stage. So I'm going to just grab that picture on the timeline, double click it, and those little handles appear, and that allows me to make it a bit smaller. And remember, we can do some cropping as well. So I might even go to the transform tool and go down to where it says crop and just crop a little bit of the top, a little bit of the bottom, a little bit of the left, a little bit of the right. So I've got less of the white border around that still image.
You should wash your hands regularly.
Now I can make it a little bit bigger if I wanted to, just highlight the picture and position it where I want it to go. So now I've got a title.
Most healthcare associated infections.
And if I just take it forward to here, I've got the picture of washing hands.
After going to the toilet
and that's basically it. It's just a matter of finding those particular tools that we talked about earlier, using them to be creative, to bring in still images, to bring in your titles, and just to keep your story going. All right, so I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I'm just going to apply a soundtrack now. So if I go to my media again and go into my Wash Hands projects, choose my audio folder, I've got a soundtrack here called Newlands. If I click on it, or if I just drag it, I could just drag it straight to the audio to have a listen to it.
According to the World Health Organization, most healthcare-associated infections are...
It's playing okay, but it's just a little bit loud. So one of the beauties of Premiere Rush is if you highlight the soundtrack, go over to your audio tools and find the button called Auto Duck. It's sitting under Advanced. So if you open up Advanced, look for Auto Duck. Click on it. What it's going to do, it's going to look for the difference between the soundtrack and the other voiceover that it can hear through the footage. And it's automatically ducked down the soundtrack. Let's just go to the end. You can see here when she stops talking, it goes back up again. You can see how it goes up. Let's just play from here. Soundtrack background, and then the music comes up a little bit louder, which is pretty cool. Folks, Premiere Rush is such an amazing application. You can be so creative and it's so simple to work with. The more you practice, the better you get at it. I just encourage you to develop as many videos as you can. Whenever you get an opportunity to create a video, take it up. Or if you don't get the opportunity, ask for it. When your teacher says, I want you to write an essay, so, well, I'll write the essay, but can I write it as a script so that I can create a video? And when your science teacher says, I want you to do a science report, say, well, do the science report, but then say to the teacher, can I actually create a video about that science report? Think about any opportunity that you get to create a video and use it, because the more you develop your video literacy skills, well, the better communicator you'll be. So thanks folks for this opportunity to share with you, and good luck with Adobe Premiere Rush. Keep being creative.